The United States Fish and Wildlife Service is an agency of federal government within the U.S. Department of the Interior which is dedicated to the management of fish, wildlife, and natural habitats. The mission of the agency is working with others to conserve, protect, and enhance fish, wildlife, plants and their habitats for the continuing benefit of the American people. The leader of the FWS is the Director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Daniel M. Ashe, of Maryland, who was confirmed on June 30, 2011, succeeding Sam Hamilton. Among the service's responsibilities are enforcing federal wildlife laws, protecting endangered species, managing migratory birds, restoring nationally significant fisheries, conserving and restoring wildlife habitat, such as wetlands, helping foreign governments with their international conservation efforts, and distributing money to states' fish and wildlife agencies through the Wildlife Sport Fish and Restoration Program. Units within the FWS include, National Wildlife Refuge System, Division of Migratory Bird Management, Federal Duck Stamp, National Fish Hatchery System, Endangered Species Program, United States Fish and Wildlife Service Office of Law Enforcement, Clark R. Bavin National Fish and Wildlife Forensic Laboratory, Landscape Conservation Cooperatives. The vast majority of fish and wildlife habitat is on non-federal lands. Therefore, the Fish and Wildlife Agency works closely with private groups such as the Partners for Fish and Wildlife, Partners in Flight, Sport Fishing and the Boating Partnership Council, to assist voluntary habitat conservation and restoration. The FWS employs approximately 9,000 people at facilities across the U.S. The FWS consists of a central administrative office with 8 regional offices and nearly 700 field offices distributed throughout the United States. History. The U.S. FWS originated in 1871 as the United States Commission on Fish and Fisheries, more commonly referred to as the United States Fish Commission, created by the United States Congress with the purpose of studying and recommending solutions to a noted decline in the stocks of food fish. Spencer Fullerton Baird was appointed its first commissioner. In 1903, the Fish Commission was reorganized as the United States Bureau of Fisheries. In 1885–1886, the Division of Economic Ornithology and Mammalogy was established within the United States Department of Agriculture. In 1896 it became the Division of Biological Survey. Its early work focused on the effect of birds in controlling agricultural pests and mapping the geographical distribution of plants and animals in the United States. Clinton Hart Merriam headed the Bureau for 25 years and became a national figure for improving the scientific understanding of birds and mammals in the United States. J. Norwood Darling was appointed chief of the new Bureau of Biological Survey in 1934. The same year Congress passed the Fish and Wildlife Coordination Act, one of the oldest federal environmental review statutes. Under Darling's guidance, the Bureau began an ongoing legacy of protecting vital natural habitat throughout the country. The US FWS was finally created in 1940, when the Bureaus of Fisheries and Biological Survey were combined after being moved to the Department of the Interior. Pursuant to the Eagle Feather Law, Title 50, Part 22 of the Code of Federal Regulations, and the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service administers the National Eagle Repository and the permit system for Native American religious use of eagle feathers. The service governs 5 national monuments. Hanford Reach National Monument in Washington State. Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, a huge maritime area in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands and the state of Hawaii. Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument, the largest marine protected area in the world, and the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument including undersea mud volcanoes, vents, chemosynthetic organisms, and much of the deepest points on Earth. See also: Federal law enforcement in the United States. Related governmental agencies National Fish and Wildlife Forensics Laboratory, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries Office for Law Enforcement, National Marine Fisheries Service, National Park Service, Partners for Fish and Wildlife, United States Coast Guard, United States Geological Survey. Regulatory matters Coastal Barrier Resources Act, Endangered Species Act, Fish and Wildlife Coordination Act, Lacey Act, Listing Priority Number, Marine Mammal Protection Act, Migratory Bird Treaty Act, Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918, National Wetlands Inventory, National Wildlife Refuge System Administration Act of 1966, Sykes Act, Wild Bird Conservation Act of 1992. Wildlife Management International Migratory Bird Day, Timeline of Environmental Events, Tri-State Bird Rescue and Research, United States Fish and Wildlife Service List of Endangered Species, Sierra Club v. Babbitt. Other related topics Arizona Game and Fish Department, National Survey of Fishing, Hunting, and Wildlife Associated Recreation, National Wildlife Refuge Association, North American Game Warden Museum. References. Further reading, U.S. Fishery Agency Annual Reports 1871-1940 and 1947-1979, Director of U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service dies at Keystone, DOI Secretary Ken Salazar's statement on the passing of Fish and Wildlife Service Director Sam Hamilton, Biological Survey, Bureau of Encyclopedia Americana. 1920. External links, official website, Fish and Wildlife Service in the Federal Register, FWS Midwest Region, FWS Southwest Region, Lower Great Lakes Fishery Resources Office, Technical Report Archive and Image Library. Historic technical reports from the Fish and Wildlife Service.